Okay, I'm on there now. I doubt I'm gonna spend the money to get to like. I just doing this to test the thing out. I don't even spend the money to get to like. I don't even know how to invite people in here. Let's see. This is the first time I've ever done this. Let's see. Basically, I don't know what I'm doing since I've never done this before. Let's see. I guess somebody will have to try to get on here if they want to talk to me. Let's see. Not doing that. I'll probably have a good night. It's getting cold here. Hey, KY man, I don't recognize the name. Figure I got a webcam and I had to get into StreamYard. May as well use it. I think there's like 20-hour a month you get for free. I see that there is a delay on this. I think there's like 20-hour a month though. I'm trying to find where the YouTube channels that were showing this. KY man, do I know you under another name? I give them my real name. Figure I got a website, so people want to reach me, they know how to reach me. I can understand people don't want their real name known. There's so many people are doing this, I figured I may as well try it once and figure it out as I go along. One thing I can't figure out is, I guess I should have announced it. Every time I use this web camera, I got to restore the defaults. I don't know why. The Logitech C270, it gives you video and audio. That's about it. It's not real high quality audio like my son's iPhone gives. KY Moon, do I know you from any other channels? Okay, maybe next time I had to try to do this on YouTube and announce I'm going to have a live stream. Because I play around with the YouTube live stream, start recording stuff in the house, and all of a sudden somebody shows up. Okay, yeah, I watch Liberty Warrior too. Yeah, I like that channel. I don't know the Travis channel though. Do you know offhand when people started doing these live streams? I got a YouTube account, I think back in 2007, just so I could watch stuff. Yeah, Remote Viewer, he's a good guy too. I like Remote. I think he's about the same age as me. Yeah, I missed Remote's show tonight. I watched a little of do you know Craig DeHunter? Okay. The problem with Craig's show is if he's using Zoom, it could take me 20 minutes to get on there. For some reason, people say it's the max firewall protection. I've already been on there and got the passcode. It took like maybe 10 or 12 attempts. Yeah, Craig is pretty funny. Do you know Allen? Dr. Rob Allen? Allen's pretty good. Cashew is a good person too. You just stay in chat, okay? Yeah, I thought a person needed a cell phone to even get on one of these things. And then talking to other people, they said all you got to do is get a web camera. But the thing, like I said, I found out is you only get what you pay for. The Logitech, it's just audio and video. It's not high quality. I think I probably look better in person than I do on this thing. Yeah, I've been on Hawk's channel too. I feel bad for Hawk's his health situation and what happened to him with the problem with that transformer burning out. He's in a German Shepherd just like I am. Well, I don't breed him. I've had 3 German Shepherds, and now I have a German Shepherd Carolina dog mix. She's about the size of a small German Shepherd, 80 pounds, but she's just awfully wild because the Carolina dog, they are half feral dogs. And we think the problem is she's got post-traumatic stress disorder. I have a few videos of her on here. She was found in South Carolina, shot as a puppy. You think I'm handsome? Well, thank you. I think my wife thought I was handsome before we got married, but that was over 32 years ago. You have 2 Chihuahuas. They're nice little dogs. The problem, okay, because I work outdoors and grow Christmas trees. I like having a dog that like is taller than the grass if they get loose. Um, and the thing is, because we have a tree farm. If I'm working far away from the road and someone pulls in the driveway, I'm not gonna hear them. And my dog, she just hears everything. She's like my ears. Actually, I only hear in one ear. I was born nerve deaf in my left ear. Actually, speaking of handsome, my wife, she's 57, and I think she looks great for her age. She works out every day. You figure getting all, aging is part of life. Nothing we can do to stop it. I grow Christmas trees: Douglas firs, Canaan firs, blue spruce, Norway spruce, white spruce. I'm in southeastern Pennsylvania. Unfortunately, around here, it's suburbia, and everybody is basically a sheep, and they follow whatever they see in the mainstream media. Yeah, too many people just believe everything on the news. I don't. I'm a skeptic when it comes to everything. And my wife and I, it'll be 33 years this May we've been married. Are you married? My grandfather grew up in Western Kentucky. This he grew up on a farm where they grew tobacco and some food crops. Actually, the soils in some of that ground are pretty good. It's in Kentucky they had seashells in their soil, so it was a limestone based soil. Yeah, around here where I live, Montgomery County, Pennsylvania, there's like 850,000 people. Most of the farms are just gone, and most of the soil around here has been severely eroded, depleted. To grow Christmas trees, we did soil conservation. And one thing that works better than chemical fertilizers is bringing in large amounts of horse manure. I spread horse manure around trees, and it makes such a difference. It's much better than using chemical fertilizers, which is the byproduct of petroleum distillation. Yeah, I remember my dad telling me he passed away this past winter. He was 96. He remembers going to visit the farm his father grew up on. He said you could walk into the field, they were all broken up. You'd see pieces of seashells. That ground was so rich and basically, neutral with the seashells. They just kept growing crops out of it. My dad told me that tobacco, you figure kids, my father was born around 19, I think it was 24. Kids would roll up tobacco leaves and let them dry them and smoke them when they were little kids. It was like cigars. Okay, if they spray manure there, it's a liquid kind. Okay, that's basically high nitrogen urea. Yeah, around here, like I said, there's not much farming. The best ground has been sold off to land developers. I live next to a state park, and even though I'm like 25 miles from Center City, Philadelphia, it's really rural where I am. Actually, the road I live on was a dirt road when I was a kid, and it's a paved road, and it's like just up the road from me. We have 4,500 square foot houses. I never got pig manure. Chicken manure is good. The only problem with chicken manure is it's high nitrogen, and you got to watch that it doesn't burn plants. And actually, cow manure I don't like. Well, first of all, the guy that I get manure from around here, there's a lot of people that have in this area have horses on small estates, and they have nothing to do with the horse manure. And they pay this guy. He charges about $225 to haul away these 14 to 20 cubic yard containers that they fill up with the horse manure, and he's just happy to find a place to dump the manure. Because 2,800 people, it's like I said, this county is 850,000. Wow, you really are in a rural area. And the problem with society today is people have just gotten too far removed from agriculture. And actually, well, Pennsylvania, believe it or not, most of the state is really mountains. You got the Philadelphia suburbs, you got Pittsburgh. Actually, the best ground in Pennsylvania is in Lancaster County, where the Amish are, the Limestone Valley. Actually, my son lives out there in that area. Well, actually, I think Kentucky would be well, maybe not with what's going on with politics. In some ways, Kentucky, I think, would be better than Pennsylvania with the liberal government we have here. Now, I haven't heard of the land between the lakes. That's in Kentucky, the land between the lakes. Yeah, we have a lot of Mennonite people around here too. Um, there's some Mennonites around. Actually, the area I live in, um, it's it was founded by Mennonites. Figure back in those days, people just plowed with a horse. Yeah, that's what I thought. Your governor, yeah, isn't your governor's about as bad as what we have here, Governor Wolf. It's funny. There's so many sects of Mennonite. When we got our last dog in 2005, we went to this farm, and you would have thought these were Amish people. The woman had a bonnet on her head. You could tell that a lot of the clothing was homemade. They raised dogs to help with their income. But the Mennonites are just so diversified. Most of the Mennonites around here have gotten away from their traditional ways. Like I said, there's some Mennonites that are just as you would think they're Amish, the way they dress, the way they live. Some of them, they don't believe in using electricity after dark. They go to bed early. I never heard of that lake. I wonder if that had to do, okay, the Tennessee River Valley possibly. Back when FDR did all those projects in the 30s, they got started. Yeah, my son says the same thing. Some of the Amish, actually, some of them, they use farm tractors. Some of them have lumber mills and use pneumatic equipment. Hey, look at it like this. You got men of the night and you got ladies of the evening. Yeah, around here there aren't any dams. Actually, 10 miles from where we are, we got a nuclear power plant. And that thing concerns me because they say they announced about 20 years ago it's built on an earthquake fault. You know, who knows what's going to happen? Yeah, I think one day there's going to be a big earthquake that hits the East Coast. We're overdue, besides what's going on in California and that Cascadia subsection. Because so you're surrounded by water. Wow. So you're not at the highest elevation, I take it. Okay, the New Madrid fault line. Well, you know all about that earthquake that happened in the early 1800s out there. But the history is bound to repeat itself. When I was a kid, my father had these books. I suggest anybody read them by Immanuel Velikovsky, a Russian author. Worlds in Collision, Earth in Upheaval, and Ages in Chaos. He wrote books about the history of the world, and it coincided with what happened in the Bible and other cultures like the Egyptians, the Chinese, the Native American Indians in the United States, the Mayas and Incas, the Aztecs. Yeah, I've been following on Volcano Discovery, reading about some of those earthquakes. Actually, I think it was last week in Sinking Springs, Pennsylvania, which is about 45 minutes from here. I think they had about a 2.4 or 2.6 earthquake. I'm still concerned with what could happen with that La Palma volcano and a tsunami. And I've noticed that the USGS now is saying it's all conspiracy theory. When I found websites where engineers did studies on what could happen if that La Palma volcano collapses into the ocean all in one lump sum. You figure what started the Dark Ages was when that Krakatoa exploded. Yeah, I wonder if something was done to start that La Palma. And actually, some of the books I've read, scientists have been fascinated with the Canary Islands since the early 1800s. Yeah, I saw a video somebody had either on Gab or Telegram where they showed it looked like a beam of energy hitting that volcano, just like the one over in Japan. Yeah, I think they want it to collapse too. Yep, and that is active. And all the volcanoes on the west coast are showing activity. Yeah, Gab and Telegram. Well, I can't get a Telegram account because I don't have a cell phone, but I figured out how to look up certain people's pages and see what's going on over there. And with all these volcanoes being active, I think this could cause another mini ice age. Yeah, I don't trust anybody in power at all, except for our last president. Yeah, I signed up for Telegram and I couldn't get the access code. And my son said he could get it, but my thinking is, well, because he has a cell phone, my thinking is I would need a cell phone every time I would log in there. And how am I going to do that? Call him up every time to get the code, especially when he's not in the United States all the time with his career. Yeah, I hope something happens and Mr. T comes back. I'm just disgusted what's going on. Figure around here a year ago, diesel was $2.75 a gallon, and it's $4 now. Home heating oil is $3.05 a gallon. Last year, it was anywhere from maybe $1.99 to the height of $1 to $2.50. I didn't know that the Telegram takes up a lot of memory. Actually, I found people's Telegram pages mentioned on Gab, and you can't do it with Google or Yahoo. But if you go to Bing and you can do the exact wording, it's got to be exact every letter of their page. You can read people's Telegram and post through Bing. It's like Google and Yahoo do not want people even on there. Because I know some people have Telegram accounts. I've talked to the past year, have had problems getting on Telegram. And I know they have private chats. Because I tell you, that's way cheaper. Around here, I think it's gone down. Gas was up to $3.60 a gallon here about a week and a half ago. Plus, Pennsylvania, we have, I think, because of one of the former governors, we have the highest gas tax in the country and the highest diesel fuel oil. And Governor Wolf wants to put more taxes on gas and diesel fuel. Great. Yeah, that's a pain in the ass when you got to delete stuff on the computer. Like, I'm not the most computer illiterate. When I downloaded the Logitech from the Logitech website, I guess it's an app. I tried using it and I couldn't get it to work. So then I went to preferences because I have a Mac. It took me an hour and a half at least to find the thing, then to figure out how to use it. Well, I look at it like this: the Logitech serves its function. Like I said, I wouldn't recommend this to someone that wants really high quality stuff. It's funny you mentioned Big River business. I know down in the south, actually, I bought a farm implement a few years ago from Tennessee. I think they call it Tennessee River Implements. It amazes me how there's so many companies down there near bodies of water that make farm equipment. Yeah, I'm not real computer literate, being a little over 60. I'm better with woodworking or electronics because I built speakers as a hobby. Well, I haven't in a while, but I did. Is this the first time you ever checked out my YouTube channel? Okay, Ohio River. Yeah, you're in the western part of Kentucky. I'll show you. I build these things as a hobby. It's a lot of work. I got into this stuff as a teenager. You're usually quiet. Yeah, those things are big. There was a guy that used to live in my area. He died about 16 years ago named Irving Freed. He came out with some really high end loudspeakers that use transmission line loading of the driver. Well, our neighbors aren't real close here because living on the tree farm. It's like we have neighbors across the street, and their houses are close to the road, and we're like 80 feet from the road. Plus, we have nobody behind us. You'd have to go like 720 feet to get to the next property. Tell you where we used to live, the first house my wife and I had was a townhouse. We had neighbors that played rap music so loud the walls would shake. I would turn these things up and just blast them, hoping they would turn it down. Yeah, I'm really into classic rock like Led Zeppelin, the Moody Blues, Pink Floyd. Well, the thing I like about working with the trees is I'm outdoors, I'm with my dog, and I'm my own boss. The big problem trying to grow anything is the weather. And then around here, we're just overrun with deer. They commit so much freaking crop damage, it's not even funny. It's like I'm out here, not in the heat of summer because it's too hot. I'm out here like 8 months out of the year trying to pick these deer off with my shotgun using rifled slugs. Okay, you grew up in the 80s. And the thing with the deer, okay, the state took, my grandfather was a gentleman farmer. He started growing Christmas trees as a hobby. The state took his property for the same state park we have next to us in 1969, and they never had deer damage. This 3,600 acres for the state park became a haven for the deer, and now they're everywhere, literally. Yeah, right next to me in the park property is 25 acres of tillable soil. The state used to rent the ground to farmers, and hey, white dove, and nobody will even rent the ground now. They have to pay a farmer to freaking mow it because the last guy I knew that grew soybeans 20 years ago, the deer ate every freaking all the guy's soybeans. How you doing, white dove? Hey, listen, this is the first time I tried StreamYard. If somebody wanted to get on, I'm not even sure how I would get them on here. It says to invite, but I don't know how you invite someone. I'm going to have to ask Craig sometime. And I found you get 20 hours a month free. I might do this every now and then for something to do. Because when I hit the invite thing, it says copy to clipboard. I don't even know what that is. You're not ready for a live one yet, White Dove? I think you are. The other night, last night I think it was, I just went on YouTube Live and just started talking. I couldn't believe Cashew started chatting, thinking, who the heck in their right mind's going to be watching me or watching anything I'm doing? Yeah, I'm just trying to figure this thing out as I'm going along. I was telling KY Min that it's so much easier to get on this than doing Zoom. Now, my son has Zoom for his work, his career, but it's just a group of guys talking on the cell phones together, where they're not even going through the computer or using YouTube like the live streams here are. I hear you, KY Man, about liking many people. Hey, my wife's a nurse at a doctor's office. She comes home. I got to give her time to like recuperate from work. All she does is deal with people every day, and she works for a group of ear, nose, and throat doctors. And every single patient that comes in that office has to tell her that they're fully vaccinated. They made an appointment to get their booster. They pull their vaccine passport out, like they're showing it off. Thinking, what the hell is wrong with these people? And now she has to get the freaking test twice a week. Yeah, one thing I don't like is being in crowds, KY Moon. I'd like to know if something's really going to happen from the stuff we're following. See, you got fibro. I don't even know how you pronounce it. Myalgia. Yeah, well, half the people that work at the office my wife works at haven't gotten it either. It's nasal white dove, but Paula says you can feel pressure up against your head. She doesn't like it. I don't like it. And with the cost of everything going up, we both need to make income. It's not like we have any kind of mortgage, but it's just to pay electric bill, cable TV, internet bill. Gosh, the taxes on this property every year, which are astronomical. I was saying to Cashew last night, I don't know if it's true that next infrastructure bill, if they pass that, okay, Ben Carson talked about this in 2019 on the Mark Levin show, and Sean Hannity even mentioned it, how they want to have a 3% federal property tax, where, okay, we got to pay school and property taxes, and the school tax is way bigger than the property tax. If there's a 3% federal tax on every property, that's $3,000 on every 100,000. If a person has a $300,000 house and they got to pay 3% federal tax, that's going to be another $9,000. And someone that has say if around here there's farms, okay, most of the farms left, people sold the development rights. There's a guy near us, the name was Varner. They sold their farm, they sold the development rights, which I thought made the ground worth less. Well, they sold a 100-acre farm that had no development rights, and some guy bought the place for $3.2 million. So let's say a 100-acre farm is worth $3 million. If someone has to pay a 3% property tax every year on that farm, look what that's going to cost them. That's going to be like $90,000 a year in taxes. Joe Biden and the libs are going to put every farmer in this country, even where farm ground is cheap, they're going to have to sell their property. I mean, around here where I am, there were people paying $250,000 in the township next to me, Worcester. There's not much ground left. $250,000 for a 2-acre building lot. It's pathetic. I remember in the 80s, a person could buy background for $5,000 an acre. Now there's people around here paying $150,000 to $200,000 an acre just for the background, not including the road frontage. Like, we have preferred assessment 319, so the taxes here, the school tax and the property tax, that's like about $5,000 a year. Some of the homes up the road from me, people are paying $25,000 because they're 4,500 square foot, $750,000 development homes. Yeah, the government wants to take over everything. And then I saw on One American News, Joe Biden has increased the states that have the highest state income tax. Joe Biden's given them a bigger write-off than Obama did. So the rich people in this country are going to get the biggest tax write-off for the state and local. It's like taking the itemized deduction, basically, and giving that to them in federal. And around here, it's like the taxes are just pathetic. Your taxes were only 150, man. That is cheap. Well, around here, the superintendents of the school board make anywhere from 1.2 million and up in certain school districts. These teachers, I have nothing against teachers. There was if someone's teaching in the school district where I'm at, in about 20 years, they're making at least $100,000. That is a lot of money. Oh, I thought of something today, hearing about some of these cases. Can an illegal alien make a citizen's arrest in the United States? I had no idea prices were like that. I have friends of mine that moved out of this area that live in upstate Pennsylvania, where the taxes up there, they're probably still higher than where you are, KY Moon in Kentucky, but they're nothing like they are around here at all. Yeah, I thought of that joke and told my wife that after dinner, and she didn't even react. She's just worn out dealing with. I think some of the mornings, the two the doctor and the physician assistant might end up seeing like 60 people, and all these people are about as left as can be. Trying to get this camera stabilized. I was thinking if any of us want to commit a crime in front of illegal aliens, they can't make a citizen's arrest. I bet tobacco is still cheap in Kentucky. Around here, not that it's good for any of us, you used to be able to buy a pound of pipe tobacco for $9.95. Well, they put a tax on it of 60 cents a pound. So you're talking $9.60 a pound on tobacco. Just to get cheap pipe tobacco to make cigarettes now is like $22 a pound. And cigarettes I've seen in the store, the name brand ones, they're like about $100 a carton now. It's just tax, tax, tax. Hey, White Dove, are you surprised that I did a live stream? There is a big delay in this with what they show on YouTube. Gosh, years ago, it was probably, God, 2010. I was buying cigarettes from the Seneca Indians in upstate New York. They were like half the price of the ones in the stores. I remember in the 90s getting them from people for $9 a freaking carton. Yeah, it was Governor Corbett that raised the gas tax in Pennsylvania. I guess that was like around 2008 to 2012. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. Listen, I got to get going here soon and see if there's any deer outside. Hey, I'm sure I'll see you somewhere soon, White Dove, but not on where I used to be. And thanks for chiming in too, KY man, because I hear Holly upstairs and she's gonna want to go out any minute. He's a puffer now. Here, Holly. If I point this camera at her, she'll run. I don't know why. Later, I'm gonna watch Liberty Warrior if there's no deer out here, and I'm gonna see if um you gotta fix. Oh, you vape, okay? Hey, well, thanks both of you for stopping in. I really appreciate it. Okay, have a good evening. Maybe I'll see some of you because I don't know if Craig's gonna have another show, or the full Monty. Because I'm just gonna, I'm gonna figure out, how to get people on here and maybe, only have a limit of 20 hours every month unless I want to upgrade, which will cost paying. Okay, thanks a lot, both of you. Have a good night.